You know, we have a group of ladies, I don't know if they're here, but we have a group of women from North Carolina, a large group, like 50 of the most beautiful women, and they've been to 129 rallies. They're happily married, I think, too. They just keep going to rallies all the time. But they're great. North Carolina, where we won by big numbers. Nowhere has this transformation been more dramatic than our southern border. You have seen a change on your southern border that Sleepy Joe said couldn't happen. Sleepy Joe, the worst president in history, said it couldn't happen. The last administration engineered a massive border invasion, allowing gangs, cartels, and terrorists to infiltrate our communities and rape and murder our citizens, and that is being nice about it. That's actually being nice about it. They are the worst. But standing before you today, I can proudly report that this heinous betrayal is over and that we have achieved the most secure border in American history by far. In American history. For 2 months in a row, we have now set all-time records, and this is by the media, the fake news media, which most of it is fake. We've set all-time records for the lowest number of illegal border crossings ever recorded. Think of that, ever recorded. The number of illegal border crossers released into the United States is down, listen to this please, 99.999%. Think of that, 99.999. 3 people got in. 3. And I got angry as hell at Tom Homan. How did you allow 3, Tom? I called up Christie. Christie Noem's doing a great job, Tom Homan. I said, how did you allow 3 people? No, they allowed a few in for medical reasons. They honestly, they had a couple of, were very sick. The ones that got in were really very sick, and we had to take care of them, but it was a few people. But 3 people got in versus hundreds of thousands in the last administration. Hundreds of thousands a month were pouring in. Biden had no control. Thank goodness he appointed a great border czar, right? Kamala. She was a great candidate. She was fantastic. Joe Biden was down 35 points. The debate was not a good one for him. He said, you know, if I didn't debate, I could have gone all the way. He was down 35 points, and they decided to replace him. Nothing ever happens like what happens to me. It never happens to anybody else. I had to beat 2 candidates.
Nothing ever happens. I gotta clip that.
Dana White, the UFC, you're in a fight, and you're just beating the guy so badly, and they say, oh, let's put in another fighter. That's what happened. And I knew nothing about her. She was vice president, but nobody knew a damn thing about her. She had nothing to do with the border, even though she was appointed border czar. The great people, all of the great people, Paul and all of the Border Patrol people, they never spoke to her. They never heard about her. For 4 years, she never called. But there's never been such a difference in anything as the difference between the border today and the border what it was just 6 months ago. So I want to say congratulations, America. It's about time. If we had not won the 2024 election, oh, does that sound good, right? We won the 24, all that work. The radical left Democrats would right now be importing the next 10 million invaders and giving amnesty to 30 or 40 million illegals, many of them criminals, many of them frankly, murderers and people of crime at the absolute highest level. Real bad people. It would only be a matter of years or months until America itself became a failed third world nation. That was happening to us. We were going to be a third world nation. I'll tell you what, if these guys won, if this group of radical lunatics, and by the way, you know, Biden, we find out that whoever operated the auto pen was the real president, and Biden knew nothing about it. You know, he had a group of radical left guys who were very smart, and a woman, a particular woman. Very smart people. These are not stupid people. These are sick people, but they're not stupid people. and they were very smart. What they're best at is cheating at election. They cheat on elections. That's their single greatest trait. They cheat like hell. And let me tell you, they tried to cheat on this election, but we made it too big to rig. Remember? Too big to rig. They tried. I watched those numbers. We had Elon with us. Elon is a smart guy. Elon was with us. Elon Musk. And I was sitting with Dana White and Elon Musk, and I'm watching the numbers in Pennsylvania, and we're winning so easily. Then all of a sudden it flatlined. And I said, I think they're cheating again. Look at this. What's going on? I think they're cheating again. And Elon looked at us. He goes, no, you're going to win. They just don't know it yet. And about 15 minutes later, we won, sort of crazy. I'll never forget. You're going to win. They just don't know it yet. But you know what? We made it too big to rig. It was too big. Starting on day one, I deployed the U.S. military to defend our country from the invasion of our border. I shut down all migrant flights. Do you remember when we're talking about people coming in, they're trying to deny it, okay? So people are flowing in. They say, no, I don't see any people. It's like, what's wrong? But then we saw airplanes going overhead. We said, what the hell are those airplanes doing? Big Boeing 757s were traveling right overhead, loaded up with people. I say, where the hell are those planes going? They were loaded up with migrants coming in illegally, flying in by plane, paid for by the U.S. government. I'll tell you, they are sick. Remember that day? That was the day we found out that not only do we have to defend it here, we have to defend it not only in the water, but we have to defend it in the air. The planes were going over us. I said, what the hell is that? I banned all welfare to illegals, and I signed an order that will end automatic citizenship for the children of illegal aliens. No citizenship. For years, Joe Biden and the media told us that stopping the flood of illegal immigration was absolutely impossible. He said it was impossible. He didn't know what the hell anybody was talking about. He said it was impossible, that the president had no power to stop what was needed in the form of legislation. He needed legislation. He had no power to get it. But it turned out that all we needed was a new president. Within days of taking office, I signed the Laken Riley Act. Laken Riley, beautiful Laken Riley, who was killed by an illegal immigrant, viciously, violently killed. But I signed the Laken Riley Act to facilitate the expulsion of dangerous criminal aliens, and when necessary, we had to put them in jail. We couldn't take a chance that they'd come back in again. In recent weeks, ICE, who are great, these people are great, has arrested dozens of child rapists, along with murderers, kidnappers, drug traffickers, and thieves, and frankly, people from mental institutions. We've designated 6 murderous Mexican drug cartels as foreign terrorist organizations. We have also designated 2 bloodthirsty transnational gangs, MS-13 and Trendiaragua, TDA. They've been designated the highest level of terrorists, and that lets us do a lot of things that you wouldn't be able to do. We got to get them out of here before they kill more people. They've killed plenty. My administration has increased arrests of known and suspected terrorists by 655%. Is that okay? We tried to get it higher. But the courts are giving us a hard time. Can you believe? I won on the basis of, I think the number one thing was on illegal immigration, the border, the people pouring across our border that are from all over the world. They're unbelievably bad. In many cases, unbelievably bad people. I think that was the number one thing. And now the courts are trying to say that, that doesn't matter. I don't think it's going to be allowed to stand. Democrats have vowed mass invasion and mass migration. We are delivering mass deportation, and it's happening very fast. And the worst of the worst are being sent to a no-nonsense prison in El Salvador. Why don't you watch Watch this. Watch this. Take a look.
I guess we don't get to see it. Are any other feeds showing it? Does anyone know? RSBN is showing it. Hang on. Kim, thank you for the donation. Thank you for supporting the stream. Very much appreciated. So under President Trump, America is a dumping ground for criminals no longer. They're not even trying to come in. But while we're fighting to protect Americans, the radical left Democrats, who are so bad for this country, are fighting to protect TDA, you just saw that, and MS-13 criminals, and you don't even know which is worse, but they are the top of the line. For years, Democrat politicians did not raise one word. Democrats are holding a free Mohsen Madawi rally outside of the State Department right now.
They were raped and slaughtered by numbers that you don't even want to hear about. But the second we try to deport them, the radical Democrat Party is racing to the defense of some of the most violent savages on the face of the earth. Who the hell would vote for these people? They're racing to the courts to help them. But this is not what the people want. This is not what they voted for in record numbers. I won the election. We won every swing state. We won the popular vote. And we got 312 electoral college votes. And just this month, 2 Venezuelan members of TDA, Strandiragua, were arrested in Washington state for kidnapping a 58-year-old woman driving a power drill through her hand to extort her bank account information, shooting her, leaving her for dead. And miraculously, she just survived, but she's not feeling so well. In January, Tren Aragua member in Chicago kidnapped 3 women, took them in an alley, lined them up, and shot them each in the head. They all died. And the FBI recently assessed that these vicious gangs have been sent by the foreign regime in Venezuela to foment violence and instability in the United States of America. Can't let that happen. And it's not just, in all fairness, not Venezuela. It's all over the world. It's all over. They come in from the Congo. They come in from Africa. The Congo, they emptied out their prisons into our country. But they come from Africa, Asia, South America. They come from all over bad parts of Europe. That's why we've invoked the Alien Enemies Act to expel every foreign terrorist from our soil as quickly as possible. Never forget the same people that we now claim we're just not taking this crap anymore. We can't. They're claiming that we're not allowed to deport illegals, and they're the ones who orchestrated an 8-year campaign to jail their political opponents. Do you know what I mean? They want to jail. They want to jail. That's all they can do, jail their political opponents. What they did to people is a disgrace. And now they come after us. Why are you not nice to them? Why are you not nice to them? They tried to jail your president. They tried to jail. Except for the really courageousness of a few very good judges, you know, we could have been calling you from the other side of the bar saying, hey, fellas, how about a little protest? How about a little protest? But they cheered the assassination of CEOs, looted our cities, and destroyed our property. No, they tried to jail our politicians, and they tried to jail a lot of people, many of whom didn't even know what the hell they were being looked at for. These people are criminals. If they had their way, we would be living in a third world hellhole. That's what they want. Removing the invaders is not just a campaign pledge. It's my solemn duty as Commander-in-Chief. I have an obligation to do it. Save our country. And that's why we got, despite the fake polls, you know, they do these polls where they interview far more Democrats than Republicans. I saw them over the last few days, and I had them checked out. They interview far more Democrats for the polls. They interview Democrats by big numbers and then Republicans by small. They say, Trump only has a 44% approval rating. Well, it's actually not bad. But when you figure that if it were a legit poll, it would be in the 60s or 70s. These people are a bunch of crooked people. No, they interview more Democrats than Republicans. In other words, they take the poll and they interview Democrats. They poll Democrats. And then they say, they try and depress it as much, just like they write bad stories. 97% of the stories written about me, think of it, were negative, and yet we won in a landslide because they have no credibility. And also, we cannot allow a handful of communist, radical left judges to obstruct the enforcement of our laws and assume the duties that belong solely to the President of the United States. Judges are trying to take away the power given to the President to keep our country safe, and it's not a good thing. But I hope, for the sake of our country, that the Supreme Court is going to save this, because we have to do something. These people are just looking to destroy our country. Nothing will stop me in the mission to keep America safe again. It's very simple. Keep America safe again. And our first 100 days have also produced historic results in the battle to defeat Biden's inflation disaster and bring jobs and wealth back to America, and bring them back to Michigan, okay? We want to bring them back. As an example, since I took office, the cost of eggs is down 87%. Now, right? You remember a few weeks ago, before Thanksgiving, before we heard about it, I heard about it a long time ago. Before Thanksgiving, I heard about it. And then I was hearing that I wasn't president. This guy was barely president. Nobody knew, was he president? Who the hell was president? To this day, I say it was the one that operated the auto pen, but what do I know? But I was hearing about eggs, and then all of a sudden we have a great election victory. And my first week in office, they start screaming at me, "What about the price of eggs, eggs, eggs?" I said, "I've only been here for 6 days. I was there 6 days." I said, "What's wrong with eggs?" They said, "The price of eggs has gone through the roof and you won't be able to have them for Easter." So I put our very capable Brooke Rollins, who's our wonderful Commissioner of Agriculture that you know in Michigan. I said, "Brooke, I've only been here 6 days before I heard, maybe even less, maybe 5, maybe 4. But it was my first week. And I said, "Brooke, you got to save me here. I'm getting killed about eggs. What the hell's going on with eggs?" She said, "Well, you can't get them. The price is through the roof, and it looks like we're going to have a real problem for Easter. You're not going to have eggs." I said, "Brooke, that doesn't sound politically viable to me. That doesn't sound good. Because nobody's going to believe me when you get out there that it's Sleepy Joe Biden's fault. So, Brooke, you got to get going, Brooke, please." And she did a great job. And you had so many eggs for Easter, and your price was down 87% from that point. Prices are coming way down. You know, the fake news doesn't say it. They said, "He pledged." Now, I pledged safe borders. I pledged all sorts of things. But they said, "He pledged to bring prices down." Well, that's what I've done. They're trying to say the prices have gone up. Your energy, your car, your gasoline, they have 3 states this week, a couple of days ago, that were $1.98 a gallon. So gasoline prices are down by a lot. Energy prices are down. Mortgage rates actually just went down. Prescription drug prices just saw their largest monthly decline ever recorded. How about that? Remember what you heard. Prescription drug prices just took the biggest plunge ever since they've recorded the prices, which have basically gone up, except for my 4 years. They did pretty well. But we got to know that system. The system is a bad system. But they just took the biggest dive ever in the history of prescription drug prices. Think of that. That's a big thing. I got to say it again and again because they will never tell you that. The fake news will never tell you that. Grocery prices have gone down. Everything's gone down. And yet I saw this person on MSDNC, which I think is probably even worse than CNN. It's probably worse. Probably worse than CNN. But I saw this horrible, horrible anchor. How these people get jobs. I wouldn't hire them to do the most menial of chores. But I saw this person. He campaigned on bringing prices down. Every price has gone down. What am I going to do? I mean, think of it. Gasoline was almost $4 not so long ago. And now, Mike, we just hit $1.98 in a lot of states. Think of it. And they're saying, and you know what? And inflation is basically down. And interest rates came down despite the fact that I have a Fed person who's not really doing a good job. But I won't say that. I want to be very nice. I want to be very nice and respectful to the Fed. You're not supposed to criticize the Fed. You're supposed to let him do his own thing. But I know much more than he does about interest rates, believe me. Core inflation has reached the lowest rate in 4 years. And last month, we had the largest drop in consumer prices since the pandemic. This is all done in 100 days. Think of that. This is all done in 100 days. But when you watch the fake news, you see fake polls. Again, they poll more Democrats than Republicans. Democrats aren't going to say, "I'm going to vote for Trump." And we still got 45, 44%. But on the legitimate polls, I think we're in the 60s. I think we're in the 60s or 70s or something. In 3 months, we have created 350,000 jobs. Think of that. For the first time in recent memory, job gains for native-born Americans now exceed job gains for foreign workers. This is for the first time, and nobody even knows when, Americans now are doing better than foreign workers. How about that? I mean, that's okay. I want everyone to do well, but that's okay. And to curb inflation, we're cutting a record number of job-killing regulations. We beat in the 4-year first administration, which was a tremendous success. We cut more regulations than any president in history, including
two-term presidents, including Roosevelt, who was more than a two-term president. We cut more regulations than any president in history in one term, and now our second term. And, you know, I don't know why. It was so important to win because they used to say, the fake news, to be a great president, you have to serve 2 terms. So now we're going to serve 2 terms. Now they've taken that one. Cross. Right, Dr. Oz? Cross that one off. Cross that one off. No, they say it all the time. When I was out, they say, well, they go on through. Thank you. Thank you. Sure. But we've ended the radical left. Well, we actually already served 3, but if you count. But remember, I like the victories. I like the 3 victories, which we absolutely had. I just don't like the results of the middle term, the results. I don't want those results, John. I don't want those results. What results? What a disgrace. If we would have had this group for another year, we wouldn't have a country left. I really mean it. I don't think we would have had a country left. And now we're respected all over the world. They're coming from all over the world to see you, President. They're coming from India. They're coming from France. They're coming from Spain. Yeah, they're coming from China, too. Yeah, they're coming from China. They're coming from all over the world to see you, President. They want to make a deal. They want to make a deal. And, you know, we'll make deals, but we don't have to. We are the ones that have the product. We are the ones at the United States. They want a piece of our product. We can just set the price. But I want to be respectful and I want to be nice. But if it takes too long, I'll just set a price. Say, you could buy or you don't have to buy. We lost, think of this, we lost billions and billions of dollars a day. Billions, not millions, billions of dollars a day. And under Sleepy Joe Biden. What's better, Crooked Joe or Sleepy Joe? Ready? A poll, a free poll. Because these pollsters are so corrupt. This is a real poll. We're going to poll Crooked Joe or Sleepy Joe. Ready? What's a better name for us to call him? Sleepy Joe? Or Crooked Joe?
We'll recreate this poll in the hog zone. It'll be the only poll that actually matters.
I'm not surprised. This happens. I sort of loved Sleepy Joe. You know, it just had a nice ring to it. Because he had one ability I didn't have. He goes to the beach, right? And he could fall asleep on a cottage, drooling out of the side of his mouth. And he'd be sleeping within minutes. Carrying the aluminum chair, you know, the kind that's meant for old people and children to carry. It weighs like about 4 ounces. And he couldn't get his feet out of the sand. And he'd sleep, he'd fall on this thing, and with it, and he'd have, you know, he's president, so you'd have cameras. He'd be in a bathing suit. Somebody convinced him that he looks great in a bathing suit. He's 82 years old. Cary Grant didn't look great in a bathing suit when he was 82. You don't look great. You know, at some point you have other assets, okay? But that's not right. But he'd go and he'd walk in the sand and he'd fall into that thing, and within seconds he was sleeping. I'd be tossing and turning and scheming and thinking and saying, how am I going to beat China? How am I going to stop the war with Russia and Ukraine? This guy could fall asleep with cameras blazing, right? Not too many cameras were blazing, but enough were blazing that you saw it. I thought it was a great ability that he had, actually. We've ended the radical left war on American energy. We've stopped their crusade on coal. Did you see what I did the other day? Clean, beautiful coal. I said, you're not allowed to use the word coal unless you say clean, beautiful coal. So you have guys getting up. Department of Energy. We have great people at Department of Energy. They talk about clean, beautiful coal. You know, China uses coal. They're opening up a coal plant every week, a massive coal plant. But we're not allowed to use it. But now we are, because last week I gave it absolute, total approval. And you know what I don't give approval to? Those stupid windmills that go round and round and round. And we've ended the Green New scam. We've reopened Anwar, the greatest drilling site anywhere in the world, in Alaska, and implemented the new energy policy of the United States. You know what it is? We have a policy. It's called Drill, Baby, Drill. That's our policy. That's our policy, Michael, right? Great Michael Whatley, head of the Republican Party. He's done a good job. Him and Laura, they took the party by storm, right? He had a good candidate, but had a couple of good candidates, didn't he? Michael's been incredible, actually. Michael Whatley, North Carolina. He watched in 2020. He did so good for me, and he was in North Carolina. He did so great. What's the problem over there? What's the problem? Is that a radical left lunatic? He's just a child. All right, get him out. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, ma'am. I thought it was a guy. Thank you. And she now has to go home to a mother who's a big Trump fan. Her mother's watching. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I said he, and it's a she. I'm sorry. To keep my promise to the great state of Michigan, I terminated Joe Biden's insane electric vehicle mandate, where you were mandated to buy an electric vehicle. You were mandated within just a few years to buy an electric vehicle. How about that? And you know what? They're great, but people don't. Not everybody wants them. You got to be able to buy a hybrid, a gasoline-powered car. You can buy lots of different cars, but you can't be mandated to do anything. And I've already proudly imposed a 25% tariff on all foreign automobiles. Any foreign car, like they do to us. This is going to create more jobs in this state and this country, and to help these automakers bring their factories home as rapidly as possible, I've just signed an executive order to give partial tariff rebates to any company that assembles its cars right here in the U.S. In other words, if they can't make it in time because they have to do it here, otherwise they haven't, I'm giving them a little bit of a break, right? They took in parts from all over the world. I don't want that. I want them to make their parts here. But I gave them a little bit of time. It's 15% and then 10% of the parts, so it's not so bad. Somebody would say, oh, well, that's a change in parts. It's not. It's called a little flexibility. The guys were crying. They love it. Everything's good. But just in case we can't get everything in time, we gave them a little bit. So it's 15% of the parts, and then it's 10% of the parts. We give them a little time before we slaughter them if they don't do this. Right. They're going to make so much money. They're going to have so many jobs.
Trump threatened to slaughter an entire country.
Jobs are way up. We're pleased to be joined tonight by Brian Panebecker. Do you know who that is? Of the Auto Workers for Trump. And Brian is a union guy, loves the unions, loves everything, but he knew that Trump was right. Brian, come up here, Brian. I got to see Brian. Look at the arms in this guy. Look at the arms. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President. It's a great honor to be here on your 100th day in office of your second term. And I just want to remind you of something I told you at one of your last rallies before the election. I've got it on video. I've watched it dozens of times at home. After I was able to speak, I turned to you and I said, Mr. President, Macomb County is going to win Michigan for you. And that's exactly what happened. We had a margin of victory of 70,000 votes in this county alone. Thank you, Macomb County. You know, I met President Trump 8 years ago in Novi, and we had never met before. And as I was stepping towards him backstage to get my picture taken, I knew I only had 10, 15 seconds to say something to him before we got our pictures. Fortunately, my son was standing behind me, so I've got a witness to this. And I said, Mr. Trump, we've got the keys to the White House waiting for you in Macomb County. And he kind of chuckled. He said, oh, yeah, how's that? And I said, well, Macomb County is the home of the Reagan Democrats. If you come to Macomb County and you ask for their support and you get it, you might win Macomb County big enough to carry the whole state of Michigan. And that's exactly what he did. So I want to say thank you to the auto workers, everybody who works in the automotive field, the suppliers, every one of you, the truck drivers. Thank you so much for supporting the greatest president in our lifetimes. Now, I've got a little business announcement I want to make. I hope the president doesn't mind. But when I was backstage with him earlier and got my picture taken, I said, Mr. President, I've got a deal that you can't refuse. And he said, what's that? And I said, well, I'm writing a book, and it's going to be about my political journey. I've been involved in some things here in Michigan, conservative causes like right to work and the Michigan Civil Rights Initiative. And I said, you have a publishing company, Winning Team Publishing. It's run by Don Jr. and his partner. I said, I'll agree to use your publishing company if you agree to write the foreword to my book. He stuck out his hand and said, I'll do it. That's how you negotiate with the best negotiator in the world. So listen, I got one last thing to say. All of us have a job to do. Number one, we have to win the 2026 elections. It has to happen. Sri Thanadar, that lunatic Democrat from Detroit, is already threatening to impeach President Trump if they get the majority back. But luckily, right now, we've got good people in Congress like Congressman John James over here who are stopping that from happening. But listen up. So we got to get out, and we don't have any time to waste. We got to start talking to our friends, our neighbors, our family, our coworkers. The campaign for 2026 starts tomorrow. We've got to win that election. So the work is not over. The work has just begun. November 5th was not the end. It was the beginning of the golden age. And let's all tell President Trump how much we support what he's done the first 100 days in office. Oh yeah, I forgot. There's one other thing I wanted to say in front of all these thousands of people to President Trump. President Trump, I love you.
That's great. Thank you.
This is about to turn into a wedding, I think.
He's a great guy. You know, he was with me from day one, 2015. Before 2016, he was there from day one. He got it. He said, we're losing our car industry. That's what he really cared about. He just said, I've had so many friends who were laid off. It's horrible. They lay us off like it's nothing. And the business went to China, it went to Japan, went to all countries all over the world. They're laying us off, sir. And then he said, we can solve that. I told him, we can solve that so fast. He's one of the early people that got it, and we've solved it. We're going to be doing numbers that nobody's ever believed. We'll be the #1 in the world again. Nobody can believe it because we have been beaten up so badly by these countries that have rigged the whole thing. They fight like hell. They're smart. Their product is good, but our product's going to be a lot better. We're going to do something that nobody believes, and he saw it right at the beginning. So I appreciate it, Brian. And he was there at the I love the guys from the beginning. I love those early guys. Those guys are right there. They were there from the beginning, too. No, you're going to see numbers, and you're already seeing them. Look, you know, we have many Hondas coming in, and they're coming in. We let them build their cars here. We don't want them to build them in Japan. We love Japan. We don't want them building them in Japan. We want them to build them here. We want China to build them in here. We want them all to build them right in here. That's what they've done to us for 40 years, and they've drained us. Now we're doing it to them.
at a better level than they ever dreamed possible. To further rebuild the industrial bedrock of our country, I've imposed 25% tariffs on foreign aluminum and steel. It's keeping our steel mills going. I did that. If I didn't do that with steel in the my first term, we wouldn't have a steel mill in the United States right now, and everybody knows that. I did it for washing machines, too, by the way. That's why I asked the people at Whirlpool. They were going to close. They were in deep trouble. I did it because they were dumping machines. I did a 50% tariff, was going to raise it to 100%. They didn't even have to bother. They became a tremendously successful company overnight. They were ready to close. They came to me with tears in their eyes in my office early on, first term. And we're doing it now at levels never seen before, and the results are going to be even better, because we've been abused by friend and foe. And in many cases, friend has abused us more so than foe on trade. So I want to just let you know you're going to be very proud of this country very soon. And with my China tariffs, we're ending the greatest job theft in the history of the world. China's taken more jobs from us than any country has ever taken from another country. And that doesn't mean we're not going to get along. We get along with China. I mean, their tariff now is at 145%. So essentially, that's a big difference between that and zero. But I think it's going to work out. They want to make a deal, and we're going to make a deal, but it's going to be a fair deal. It's not going to be a deal that we lose $1 trillion a year like they did with Biden. That guy was so bad. He was so bad. Under Biden, and remember this, we were losing $5 billion a day on trade, and now we're making money. We're actually making money instead of, do you know what $5 billion? Think of it, Mike, how many pillows do you have to make to lose $5 billion? You can make them for 1,000 years. No, we were losing $5 billion a year. Now we've got it where we're making money, and the tariffs haven't even really kicked in. The 25% on cars have. But you know what that means? That means that you're going to make the cars. We don't need the cars from outside. When they say, oh, sir, we want to send you a lot of cars, I said, we really don't want your cars. We really don't want. We want to make our own cars. That includes Canada. That includes Mexico, who have taken a tremendous amount of our business. Canada's taken off a tremendous, like 10, 12%. Mexico is 32%. They took 32% of our car production. We don't want them to have that. We want that. Why are we giving it to them? Why are we subsidizing Canada $200 billion a year? Why are we subsidizing Mexico for $300 billion a year? There's no reason for it. I'm proud to be the president for the workers and not the outsourcers, the president who stands up for Main Street, not Wall Street. You know, I like Wall Street. I like Wall Street. I have a gorgeous, beautiful building on Wall Street, 40 Wall Street. Anybody? You want a little space? I'll get you some space real quickly. Now I've got one of the most beautiful buildings in the world on Wall Street, but I still like Main Street because you're Main Street. I want Main Street over Wall Street. And we want to protect the middle class, not the political class. That's all. I haven't done this very long. We want to protect our people. You know, this is the greatest, when you think about this, look, here we are, it's not even like election, it's after the election, and you have crowds like this, and to have them, we're going to do the commencement at University of Alabama, and they just called and they said, it's going to be the biggest crowd we've ever had we've never had a crowd like this, and I'm doing it at West Point, and they called and said the same thing. We love West Point, we love University of Alabama. We love Alabama. You know what I won Alabama by? Like almost 50 points. So when they called and they said, would you like to do the commencement? I said, okay, I'll do it. But they're going to have the biggest crowd they ever had by maybe 4 or 5 times. They told me, thanks for all of the things that we've done and to our policies. Trillions of dollars are now pouring into the United States because of common sense, just common sense. Apple. Great company, was building everything in China. Now they just announced that they're spending $500 billion to invest in America, not in China. My friend Jensen from NVIDIA, they're spending, you know what NVIDIA is? They're spending $500 billion. TSMC, the biggest chip maker in the world by far from Taiwan, they're spending $200 billion in the United States. Amazon, $21 billion. Johnson & Johnson, $55 billion. The Mac, $20 billion. Merck, Stellantis, General Motors are putting in billions and billions of dollars, and many other companies. And as a result of our policies, for the first time in modern history, more Americans believe that our country is headed in the right direction than the wrong direction. They have a poll, a crazy poll, probably a fake poll too, so I don't know, I don't care. But first time ever, I think ever, that they're saying the country is headed in the right direction. Has never happened before. I don't know why. But we've accomplished more in 3 months than most administrations accomplished in 4 years or even 8 years, and we're just getting started. Believe me, we're just getting started. We're pleased to be joined by some great people. A person that number one, I have so much confidence in him. The fake news is after him, really after him, but he's a tough cookie. They don't know how tough he is, Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth. Pete. Wow, that's pretty good. How are the Houthis doing? Not too good, right? Our new administrator of the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services, somebody that everybody knows, but this guy, you know, the show was a big success, but sometimes it hurts your image to have a television show. He's the top, he went to Harvard. I shouldn't even mention that anymore because that used to be a good thing. Today it doesn't mean much. But he went to University of Pennsylvania Medical School, top student, top doctor, top everything. One of the smartest guys in medicine, also a big star, Dr. Mehmet Oz. Dr. Oz, thank you, doctor. Thank you. A man who waited today, just came here. He was all sweaty and grimy. I said, what the hell happened? He ran into the building because he wanted to vote in Congress, and I hear we passed the vote. John James by a lot, right? And thank you for making it here. He had a vote. I said, John, do me a favor, stay and vote. We're voting essentially on the big, beautiful, that gorgeous, big, beautiful bill. I said, you know, I want you there badly, but you got to vote, please. So thank you very much, John. Good job. Michigan House Speaker Matt Hall. Matt, thank you. Thank you, Matt. Michigan Senate Republican leader Eric Nesbitt. Thank you, Eric. Thank you very much. Michigan GOP Chair Jim Runstead. Thank you, Jim. Good job. Nice tie. Thank you, Jim. Great job. One of my favorite people. We just had such success. You know, we had so many votes stolen in 2020, and then this guy came in, and they didn't steal them from his state, North Carolina, I told you. But they didn't steal him. He had 601 lawyers, and they had lawyers at every voting booth. And I said, who is that guy that did so well? Because we won the state. Other states, you know, they inched us out, and, you know, at the end, they just inched us out, crooked as hell. But this guy didn't let that happen. His name is Michael Whatley, North Carolina, and now he's the head of the Republican Party, RNC, and he's great. And I must tell you, he worked with a great woman, my daughter-in-law, Laura, who was unbelievable, who's got a very successful television show. That was a tremendous combination. That was a very important combination. Also the great, and you see him on television, he's unbelievable. Hey, Stephen, come up here fast. The great Stephen Miller. Do we like Stephen? Where is Stephen? Come here, Stephen. I love this guy. I love this guy. There is nobody smarter or tougher than Stephen Miller. Stephen, say a couple.
Who's enjoying 100 golden days of America? President Trump has achieved the most secure border in American history. He's fighting violent crime. He's fighting the drug cartels. He's cutting your taxes. He's cutting wasteful spending. He's draining the swamp. He's standing up to the radical left. He's standing up to the communists, and he's making America stronger than it's ever been. President Trump will never stop fighting for you, your children, and your family. And President Trump will make sure that in this country, not illegal aliens, not criminals, not gangbangers, but American citizens come first, last, and always. Thank you. And thank you, President Trump, for being the greatest president in American history.
He's great. This guy, he is something special. And he's been with us right from day one. Right from day one, Stephen's been there, right? He's been great. A man who put on about 928 rallies for me. We didn't have a glitch. Justin Caparel. Justin, thank you, wherever you are. He's probably backstage working.
You didn't have a glitch at any of your rallies?
900 of these. Thank you, Justin.
Remember that one rally where a bullet whizzed by your head?
Margot, beautiful Margot.
I guess we're not considering that a glitch.
Photographer. Where is Margot? Margot's great. Where are you, Margot? And she's very shy, actually. She's both beautiful and shy. Thank you. Where? Margot, come up here, Margot. Come up. Come on. You got it. This is the most beautiful. Now, I'm not allowed to say this. It's the end of my political career, but I'm going to say it anyway. She's the most beautiful photographer in the world. I don't know if she's the best, but she's the most beautiful.
Trump 2028, anybody?
People love Margot. And how about Caroline? How's Caroline doing? How is our Caroline doing? Caroline has taken the world by storm. She's taken it. And, you know, we have a man here that I don't know, but he's defending me all the time on CNN. And he defends me really well, but he can't go too far, because if he goes too far, he'll get fired. I said, you're amazing. You can take it right to the edge. And he really does a good job. He's not allowed to go any further. He would be off, you know, if he really went totally crazy, which he'd like to do. But I think he's terrific. Scott Jennings. Where's Scott? Where are you, Scott? Come here, Scott. This guy, really, I've watched him for years. I don't know him, but he likes Trump. Come here, Scott. Oh, CNN, this is the end of Scott. No, who cares? Don't worry, we'll take care of you, Scott. Scott Jennings, really great.
Thank you. Michigan. We were flying in here today, and I said, look at these farms. I got to get a farm in Michigan, because when you own as many libs as I do, you got to put a place to put them all. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Scott. And I also want to thank the rest of the Michigan Republican delegation for all the work they do in Congress, and who are back in Washington working on the big, beautiful bill. We're going to name it, I think, the big, beautiful bill. In 100 days, I've taken more than 1,000 executive actions, and I could recite our accomplishments all night long. And by the way, did you just see what I did? Straws. I wiped out the paper straw, little thing. These are the little things. Your sink. You ever try buying a new sink and no water comes out? Your shower heads, your toilets, the whole thing, it's a disaster. We now have it so you can have as much water as you want, because it's not an environmental problem. You have areas that can't get rid of their water, and yet they put restrictors on them. You used to take them off, but now you can't because they're welded in, but now you don't have to worry about that, because we've opened up your faucets, and we've opened up, especially me. I don't like taking a shower where the water goes drip, drip, drip onto my luxuriant hair. I need a lot of water. I need everything I can get. I don't need to be under a shower trying to get water to come out of that damn thing. So we've opened up the shower heads, the faucets, the toilets, the washing machines that don't give you water. All of that stuff has been opened up, and we're giving you gas ovens, gas stoves, if you'd like. No more electric. You can have electric if you want. I have a lot of friends, they like gas better. You're supposed to sell your gas stove or get it, I don't know, who do you sell it to? Maybe another country, because we're the only country that would be so stupid to that. But The stoves now, you can have gas stoves, all you want. Put 4 of them in your kitchen. I couldn't care less. It's all common sense. People were so angry about that. Remember? They were all angry. Get rid of your gas stove. You have to go to electric. There's something they have with electric that's amazing. And by the way, Elon makes a great car, but not everybody's going to want it. You know, they all say, oh, well, Trump he's under the thumb of Elon. Do you think Elon was happy about ending the all-electric mandate? I don't think he was too happy, but he's a great guy. You know, honestly, never said a thing. He says, let me just compete fairly. By the way, it's not fair what they've done to him, too. That is a disgrace. That is a disgrace. But he's a great guy, and he's really helped us. And, you know, they've saved $150 billion on waste, fraud, and abuse, Doge. So we want to thank him. He's an incredible guy. Anybody that can land a rocket ship. I saw this thing come in. I said, you got to be kidding. This rocket's coming in. You know, most of them go right into the ocean. But he lands it. I was on the phone with somebody talking, and I saw this thing coming in. It's spinning out of control, coming down. It's all burning. It's on fire. Looks like hell. I said, well, just another rocket going into the ocean. And then all of a sudden you see the fire pouring out of the engines, and it starts to slow up, slow. Then it's straight. Then it starts moving over a little bit. Then I say, oh, no, it's hitting the gantry. It's going to hit. And the engines go, straightens it out. And it gets hugged like you hug your beautiful little baby, right? And I said, who the hell did that? It was Elon. And he told me, you don't have a space program if you have to drop $1 billion machine into the water every time you fly. You have to save those suckers. So he does. He's an amazing guy, and he's a great American, and he loves our country. He loves you. And he's paid a big price to help, but I have a feeling it's going to end up being good for him, actually. I really do. I established the new Presidential Commission to Make America Healthy Again, chaired by our new Secretary of Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. He's doing a good job, Dr. Oz, right? He's doing a good job. And he's a little bit different, but I want to tell you, he's a great guy. He's a great guy, and he loves this country. Just last week, Bobby announced that we're banning 8 major artificial dyes from our food supply. Sounds good to me. And on day one, I created that right now, very successful Department of Government Efficiency headed by Elon. That was a big thing doing that. I mean, the numbers are really incredible. Doge. So it was a very big thing. We terminated the left-wing money laundering scam known as USAID. How about the money that was going out? How about the money that was going out? Billions and billions. They were giving individual people billions of dollars. Can you believe it? People that had nothing, they got $1 billion. One got $2 billion. $2 billion for the environment. Had $100 in the bank. You got $2 billion. Not $2 million. You know, $2 million would have been a lot. 200,000 would have been a lot, but it would have been fine. $2 billion. And we directed all federal workers to return to the office in person, or unfortunately, they're fired. You're fired. You know, some of these guys got their golf handicap way down during the so-called time where they're supposed to be working at home. You know, they weren't working at home. Who the hell would work at home? How do you work at home? It's terrible. And we found a lot of them where they had second jobs. They were just taking us for a ride. They're all taking us for a ride. The foreign countries were really taking us for a ride, both on military and on trade. But we stopped it, and we're stopping it. I withdrew from the unfair and ridiculous Paris Climate Accord, where we were paying trillions of dollars. We would have spent numbers like you wouldn't believe, and China wouldn't have spent anything. Russia wouldn't have spent anything. India wouldn't have spent, but we would have spent over $1 trillion. I withdrew from the corrupt World Health Organization, where we were paying $470 million, and China was paying, with a population quite a bit larger than ours, thank you. The problem with us, we have no idea what size our population. They allowed so many people on under Biden, But let's assume it's 325 million. China's 1.4 billion. We were paying $470 million, and China was paying $39 million. And China was running the whole show. So I said, no, thank you. I withdrew. They offered me to sign up at $39 million. I still said no because it was sort of scammy. I didn't like it. And Biden came back in, and he signed up. And they knew we could have signed up for $39 million or less. He came back in and he signed up for the same as what they were paying before, almost $500 million. Now, that's a lot of money, but it's nothing compared to the trillions of dollars that they waste. But that's the way it is. They know they can sign up for less. They don't even care. It's like they don't want to have the conversation. And you're talking about a $450 million difference. But they came up right in the first week. He said, no, we're going right back in. Okay, I can understand that. But you go in for $39 million. They could make a deal for $39 million. They signed up for $472 million. And I withdrew from the anti-American UN Human Rights Council, which is totally disgusting. In 3 months, my administration has brought home 46 American hostages and citizens detained abroad. We paid nothing. We don't pay. We don't pay. You know, if you pay, those kidnappings go way up. We don't pay. Every time Biden brought people back, he'd pay $6 billion. $6 billion. $6 billion. 3 times they brought back 3 hostages. Oh, how is it? Well, I think it's a fair deal. What do we pay? $6 billion. Wait a minute. For 3 people, $6 billion. $6 billion. It's not right. I mean, it's just not right. They have no idea. Honestly, grossly incompetent, stupid people. More than Biden brought home in 4 years. We brought more back in just a matter of weeks than Biden brought home in years. And he paid a fortune and we paid nothing. We got Mexico to turn over 29 of the biggest cartel leaders in their country. And we're charging Mexico and Canada and China big tariffs because of the fact that they've allowed fentanyl to come in and poison our country. They're paying a lot of money for that. And because of that, you'll watch, it's going to stop. It's already slowing down. Within 6 weeks, we also apprehended the terrorists responsible for the attack that killed 13 American service members, known as Abbygate. I got to know them. I got to know those families very well. They're devastated. During the disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan and brought him home. I mean, we brought this guy home to America. We got the guy that did it. We got him. They were looking for years, but we got him. It took us to get him. We got him in the first month. Brought him home to face justice. And it was that gross incompetence that probably led Putin to go in and attack Ukraine, because they were never going to. That was never going to happen. If I were president, the Ukraine-Russia war would have never, ever happened, not even a little chance. We have ended the weaponization of law enforcement and fired Joe Biden's handpicked. These are pro-crime U.S. attorneys, except if it's a political person like me. You know, I was under investigation more than the late, great Alphonse Capone. Al Capone was the greatest gangster of them all. If he had dinner with you and if he didn't like you, you were dead. You were a dead person. You'd be under a foundation somewhere in a nice big building or sports center going up. And I spent far more time under investigation than Alphonse Capone. How about that? You like that? I didn't like that. I didn't like it. We removed senior FBI officials who were corrupt and misdirected the resources they sent to SWAT teams after grandmothers and J6 hostages, what they did to those J6 hostages. And they did nothing to the people that took over Portland and took over Seattle. They literally took over a big portion of Seattle, or in Minnesota, Minneapolis. You remember that disaster where they said, no, this is a peaceful rally. The CNN lunatic anchor, the guy has about the personality of an ant. This is not a man meant for television. He said, no, the rally is quite peaceful. Then he got hit with a brick or something. and over his shoulder, the entire skyline of Minneapolis was burning. You remember that one? The entire skyline was burning. And I have to be careful because that gentleman right there, one of the greatest purchasers of advertising in the history of the world, Mike Lindell, there has never been a better purchaser. He comes from Minnesota. No, congratulations. He's the greatest purchaser of ads in history. If he would have bought my ads, I could have had 10 times more ads on. There's never been. Is there any station that doesn't have a pillow ad in? But he's great, and he's doing great, and he's got a beautiful new wife and all that stuff, and I'm proud of you. Look at him holding hands. They're still holding hands. I'm very proud of it. That's nice. Usually by this time, and a lot of people I know, Mike, by this time it's over. It's over. Look at you holding hands. I love that. I saw that. I pardoned hundreds of political prisoners who had been grossly mistreated. We created a brand new DOJ task force on anti-Christian bias. It's a big problem. I stripped the security clearances of the disgraced intelligence agents who lied about Hunter Biden's laptop from hell. Remember the laptop from hell? Remember the laptop from hell? When you had the 51 agents, they said, oh, Russia did it. Russia did it. Russia did everything. Russia did it. And it was all like horrible, disgusting stuff. You hadn't seen the worst of it, but it truly is the laptop. By the way, a very brilliant reporter for the New York Post wrote a book called The Laptop from Hell. You ought to read that book. It is really, it tells you the facts, okay? It tells you the facts. Miss Devine, the great Miss Devine, she wrote an amazing book, actually, The Laptop from Hell. We also terminated the clearances of the Biden crime family and Joe Biden himself because he's corrupt. And I banned all government censorship and restored free speech in America. We have free speech. We didn't have free speech. I ended all of the lawless so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion bullshit all across the entire federal government and the private sector. And I made it the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
I want to see if there's sound up here. Okay, so allegedly there's a guy that ICE is trying to deport hiding up in a tree up here in San Antonio, Texas. He's been in there for hours, maybe? At least an hour, maybe two. Jay Davis says, how is this a standoff? Get a saw or a bear?
I also proudly banned the use of puberty blockers and other chemical and surgical, right? All these mutilations of our minor youth, I banned it all. I signed executive orders to abolish critical race theory and transgender insanity from our schools and from our military. We fired the woke boards of visitors at our military academies. We have great people running our military academies now. And I've directed the reinstatement of patriots expelled from our military by the Biden vaccine mandate with full back pay. After years of missed targets, our military suddenly has the best recruiting numbers in 30 years. Every branch is setting records. Don't think of that. 6 months ago, you and I were reading that nobody wanted to join the military, right? Now, we've just set a record of recruitment that's stuck. We have a waiting list of people that want to go into our military. And we have a waiting list, including for police and firefighters, because our country has spirit again. We have spirit. Our country has great spirit again. Last month, I signed a historic executive order to begin the process of eliminating the Federal Department of Education and send education back to Michigan. We're going to send it back to our states, right? We're going to send it back to our states to run. I mean, how the hell bad can we do? We're like in last place. If they do badly, you're going to do better. They're going to do great, though. I think they're going to do great. I'm very proud of it. Linda McMahon, by the way, is doing a phenomenal job. And I signed an order making English the official language of the United States of America. I order the release of all remaining files related to the assassinations of Presidents John F. Kennedy, Robert Kennedy, and Martin Luther King Jr., and they're all out there.
And we learned nothing.
And I made myself very unpopular in Mexico by renaming the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America.
Babusier, thank you for the super chat. I do need a pizza.
And
Pizza
we are
sounds
restoring
good.
the name of a great president, William McKinley, to Mount McKinley in Alaska. He's a very good president. And you Italians are going to love me because just yesterday I brought back Columbus Day in America, especially for Italian Americans.
And we're putting
who were
Donald
so
Trump-
badly treated by its removal. I also signed an order to require proof of citizenship to vote in American elections. That was easy. And the Democrats fought me in that. Think of it. Why would they want no voter ID? Because they want to cheat. Why would they want to have no proof of citizenship? We don't want it. We trust everybody.
That is true,
No,
Canadian
they want to
alien.
cheat. That's all they want to do.
Hong hong,
Think of that.
enemy
No voter
Bob.
ID. In Michigan, you must never allow ranked choice voting to be here. Never. We've done this all in 14 weeks. That's one, remember that. 100 days. We've done all of the things that I named and a lot more. And we're counting, and it's going to be better. Wait till you see the results of some of the things that we're doing. In the coming weeks and months, we will pass the largest tax cuts in American history, and that will include no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime. It's called the One Big Beautiful Bill, and it will be the biggest bill ever passed in our country's history. It will include the biggest tax cuts, regulation cuts, military supremacy, and just about everything else. We will cut more than $1 trillion in wasteful and unnecessary spending. And in the next fiscal year, it'll all be done. We're going to have something that you won't even believe. We will end inflation, slash prices. We've already ended inflation, raise wages, and give you the greatest economy in the history of the world. That's already happening. With our tax bill, the average family's take-home pay will be at least $5,000 more than it was just a couple of months ago. We will always protect Medicare and Social Security for our great seniors with no cuts, and we will defend Medicaid for those great people that are in need. House Republicans are working to invest more money in Medicaid than we spend today. The only thing we're going to cut is the corruption and the crooks that take advantage of some of the illegal schemes. So we want to preserve Medicaid for the most vulnerable, for our kids, pregnant women, the poor, and disabled Americans. We will fully and permanently secure our border. We will make the largest ever investment in U.S. military and build the Golden Dome missile defense shield. That's going to all protect us so we live a long and beautiful life. It's going to be made in Michigan, and it's going to be made right here in the USA. And 1 hour ago, I just made a speech at Selfridge Air Force Air National Guard Base, announcing that we are saving it, keeping it open, including thousands of jobs with the brand new state-of-the-art F-15s, which are coming to Selfridge. And we will crush violent crime and give our police the support, protection, resources, and respect they so dearly deserve. I will defend religious liberty, and I will defend the right to keep and bear arms.
Seems like Trump is wrapping this up. Then we can move on to the ICE criminal
anniversary of America's
industry.
founding in 2026, and we will teach our children to love our country, honor our history, and always respect our great American flag. And one day soon, American astronauts will plant the flag on the planet Mars. That's going to happen very soon. Every single day of my administration will continue to live by the motto, promises made, and you've seen it before, promises kept. From Marquette to Midland.
Yeah, we're
from
invading
Mackinac
Mars.
to Saginaw, and from Lansing to right here in Macomb County. We stand on the shoulders of red-blooded Michigan patriots. What great people. I love you, Michigan.
It looks
Who
like
laid the
a
railroads,
looks like a big guy
built
up
the
in that tree.
factories, tilled the field, forged the steel, fought the battles, and won the victories that built the Motor City and made this state into the pride of the America Midwest. And you know what? We're going to make it better than it ever was. It's already happening. You see what's happening. Michigan is the state that gave us the assembly line, Motown, Ford, General Motors, Chrysler, and put the world behind the wheel of an automobile. And under our leadership, we are making it greater every single day. And the automobile business in Michigan will soon, and it's going to happen really soon. It's already happening. They're signing left and right because of my taxation and tariff policies, which are policies of common sense and genius, be bigger and stronger and better than ever before. It's going to get better than ever before. And it won't even be close. Companies will be pouring back into Michigan. It was hardworking patriots like you who built this country. And on November 5th, 2024, it was hardworking patriots like you who saved our country. So thanks to your help, your love, and your support.
Okay. I'm done with Trump. You can tell he's wrapping it up. And we have an ICE detainee in a tree. Let me see what information I can find out about this. Lynn says this has been going on for maybe 4 hours. That's crazy. Has he gone to the bathroom yet? What are we doing up here? ICE suspect hiding in tree in San Antonio? Zatrack, those illegals are really starting to branch out. Lynn, have you found any articles about this or anything? Why did we lose the volume on it? They about to shoot him or something? Jarvis. Oh, here's someone walking around the area live. Okay. Alright. Maybe we'll learn something here.
All right, you guys can see the ladder there. We got about 4 ICE officers there. I'm hoping they'll tase them and just knock them down.
Grammy wants them to dart him
and send them to the ICE detention center in by the airport. There's an ICE office there. Tase them already. It's taking too long. 7 hours. That's my tax.
7 hours? What is how? This guy's definitely pissed himself up there, at least.
You got the media, you got neighbors here.
Alright. Then
We got the street blocked off here.
Lynn sent an article in Hong
We got
Zone.
1, 2, 3, 4 SAPD vehicles. Can you see the video, guys? Okay. Because to me, it's showing like horizontal. But if it looks good, if it's showing vertical to you, then I won't fuck around with the camera. Will go off and come back live.
Hey, sir.
How you doing?
What are you doing, sir?
Can I help you?
Yeah. What are you doing filming in front of my house?
I'm on the sidewalk. This is a utility easement, sir.
All right, well, I'm just thinking.
Right here, see utility easement?
Yeah, I know, but everybody's seeing that you're right from a house.
I'm filming the cops.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to go into your property.
No, I just want to do all that.
I'm not going to film your face.
Yeah, exactly. You just walk. I love it when people walk up to a camera.
De Leon.
What are you doing with the camera? I don't want you filming me.
Duarte. 713.
Sir, that's right.
See, that's how you acknowledge the public when you ask for your name and badge number.
Oh yeah, I was gonna find the article here.
That's called cam on cam. Cam on cam. You're gonna go on YouTube. YouTube.
Man with arrest warrant climbs
So
tree
these
to
police
evade
officers are backing out.
authorities. The
They were
incident
here
occurred around
because,
12:30 p.m. on Tuesday
I brandished a weapon.
near South
called the police on
Navidad and Hazel Street. Did you hear Trump call NVIDIA NVIDIA? According to the Department of Homeland Security, they attempted to execute a deportation warrant for 29-year-old Guatemalan national Raul
We got
Ical.
news crew coming out of houses. In the
They tried
backyard.
to make the arrest during a traffic stop where Ical was a passenger, but he fled the scene and climbed a tree. I guess trees are impenetrable to the Department of Homeland Security, almost as much as a slight slope on a roof is to the FBI. DHS says Ical entered the United States unlawfully on March 27th, 2013, 12 years ago. Oh, was deported to Guatemala on April 24th of 2013, and then illegally re-entered the U.S. again. When? So he was here for like a month in 2013,
Got the news crew in
deported,
the backyard.
and he's back. Ical faces federal criminal charges for illegal re-entry after deportation. You can't, is that right? He started yelling down, "You can't get me, I'm on base." Yeah. Okay, but did he climb a judge's tree?
We're gonna
Probably.
go to the back of this house here.
That's right. Yeah, Secret Service, Jarvis. That's right. That's who's defeated by a slight slope on a roof.
See this single family house?
Dirt Cash. He's been in that tree for 10 years.
You guys, am I getting good reception here? How's the signal? Give me some type of signal. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down if the signal is rubbery or not.
Rubbery.
So we got neighbors here. We got the crews over here.
Yes, sir.
We got good signal. We got good picture.
GTA 4 is 17 years old
We got
today.
cam on cam. Threatening me. Bunch of troublemakers. As you can see back there, there's a tree. And with a ladder. You're in my way. Can you move to the right, please? You're in my way. Follow me on X, Hernando Arce.
Follow him
You
on
probably
X.
don't have X, do you? He's a felon. He's a criminal from Guatemala. He was deported before, removed. He was removed, and he came back illegally. He's a criminal felon. He should not be here. He's a criminal. I don't care if he comes here to pick my tomatoes or my lettuce. We need to deport him as soon as possible before he rapes my sister or my girlfriend or my mother, before he drunk drives, before he breaks more laws. You broke laws already. You're going to break more laws. Running away from the police, that's a felon. He's a criminal.
They need to find this
Can
bear.
you please tase him?
Get it in this trampoline. Get him up there.
Can we tase him already? 7 hours. You're wasting my tax dollars.
This is how you solve this problem.
I need that man tased right now. I'm going to tase him myself. I got a taser and I got a 9mm.
If only you had some darts. Shortest trip.
Can I tase
Damn
him, please?
drunks drivers.
Officer, I want to make a citizen's arrest. I want to tase him right now. I don't care if he breaks his ankle or his leg. That is not a sanctuary tree. He needs to be removed now.
It's not a sanctuary tree.
All right, we got 2,400 people. Make sure you share this video. This is breaking news. I'm here with Univision. What up, Univision? Are you giving it to the public straight? Are you telling them that he's a felon? He's a cameraman. He can't say nothing. He's a cameraman. There's the, well, what's that guy's name? Raul. He's a friend of mine, but I forget his first name. The guy with the black hat, the journalist. What's his name? Raul, right?
Tree?
Yeah. Antonio. I see him at City Hall all the time. All right. Oh, you just say just universal is crap. Sorry, bro. Man. Telemundo Univision.
How do they just have no idea what to do with this guy? It doesn't even look like he's that high up in the tree.
I would be happy to do a citizen's arrest and tase the illegal alien criminal and send them back to Guatemala. Please.
Raul up in a tree. Raul Ecall.
Mr. Ice.
29-year-old Guatemalan national. Wait, so if he's 29 and he was here 12 years ago for a month, so he was a teenager when he came here illegally last time and was deported.
That sanctuary tree. That tree does not grow oranges. So you're not going to pick my oranges. You shouldn't be in that tree to pick my apples and my oranges like a lot of illegal aliens do in California and Arizona. There's no picking oranges in that tree. You need to get down. Por favor, señor. Raúl Carr, sale de ahí, por favor. Si no sale, yo debo buscar. Yo te saco solo. Sin la policía. I'll make a citizen's arrest right now. He's in the tree. It's not a sanctuary tree. The tree doesn't grow tomatoes. It doesn't grow oranges. He's not there to pick my tomatoes.
Stroman, he needs a tree lawyer now.
He might be there to pick my wife and my girlfriend and maybe
tree
sexual
lawyer
assault
and dog lawyer
That's
team
why
up.
we need to remove him. It's Hernando Arce here, live on X. What's up, brother?
Add me, friend. Thank you.
HCH, what's that? HDH, pero ¿qué significa eso?
Es el canal más grande de Honduras.
Oh, sí.
Ya.
Pero este es de Guatemala.
Sí.
¿Sabe el nombre?
Este es de... Colombia, mucho gusto.
Mucho gusto, pero yo soy reportero IMASC, ICE.
This is how badly this guy wants to stay in America. You know, the worst country in the world that everyone
I
hates.
should be the mayor of San.
This guy's willing to live in this tree for the rest of his life just to stay in America.
Ago.
Hong Hong, Mr. Fuck You. Yes, Grammy, these are the most fun. The random situations that you can never predict.
All right, you guys can see.
I wish well, I wasn't home. I didn't get home till like 5 o'clock, so I wouldn't have been able to. But can this guy hang out on this tree longer than the dangler was on the Chicago building? I think he was there. It was over 10 hours for sure. So this guy's already approaching.
There's a nice office there.
Just a few more hours.
Tase him already. It's taking too long. 7 hours. That's my tax
Someone
dollars.
sent him a
Where's your tax
pizza.
dollars?
Or Taco Bell on Uber Eats.
You got the media. You got neighbors here. We got the street blocked off here. We got 1, 2, 3 four SAPD vehicles. Can you see the video, guys? Okay. Because to me, it's showing like horizontal. But if it looks good, if it's showing vertical to you, then I won't fuck around with the camera or go off and come back live. How you doing?
What are you doing, sir?
Can I help you?
Yeah. What are you doing?
So wait, how did we?
All right, well, I'm just thinking.
Right here, see utility
Yeah, I
easement.
know, but everybody's seeing that you're there from a house.
I'm filming the cops.
Oh, okay.
Is he done? No, I don't know what happened there.
She's trigger. Look at that. Holy cow. In the wild. Look
I
at
don't know
that
how
in the wild.
rewound
Right there.
like 15 minutes.
She's in the
but
wild.
We're back live on it. We're back live on it.
That's what you call a Mexican in the wild. Look at that. Look at that. Gorilla. Ooh, she's mad. She's mad. Maybe I should go over to the other side and interview her. Like, English, please. You're in America. English. English. You're in America. English, please. Yo, get your ass off that tree before I come down.
Yeah, somehow that live like rewound 15 minutes, but
I'm waiting for ice.
it's back live again.
Give me ice permission, I'll do it. I'll tase his ass. I'll tase his ass.
Come on, bro. Don't lose signal now. We need you.
I'll tase his ass.
It's hard to tell if it's on a loop or if he's just repeatedly saying, I'll tase his ass.
Come on, man. 7 hours already. Let's go. I don't pay you for all this fucking waste of time.
Jay,
here, guys.
waiting for him to get struck by lightning.
We got 20 more.
Yeah, aren't there supposed to be big
people
storms in
fucking
Texas?
find.
I don't know if they're anywhere near
I
San
don't got no thing
Antonio.
looking for one fucking Guatemala. Yeah, I'm in the south side of San Antonio. This is not the safest neighborhood, guys. My camera's acting a little weird, so hopefully you can see me, man. But this is a very suspect neighborhood where a lot of crazy shit happens, all right? So what I'm doing is very dangerous, especially when you have low information people like that who probably have criminal records, and they're getting too close to me and wanting to assault me. I had to go get my 9mm out of my vehicle because I didn't feel safe. Okay,
At
so
least
things
it's
are going
Texas.
down right now. He's coming down. He's coming down, guys.
Coming down? Aw, man. Don't let the fun be over.
He's coming down, guys. Can you see this, guys?
He's really got a shit. Can't hold it any longer. Stroman, let this guy fight the Guatemalan, and whoever loses gets deported.
Here we go, guys. I think I was able to get him down by telling him if he didn't come down, I was going to tase his ass. That's my theory. I think he heard me screaming at him in Spanish, telling him that if he doesn't come down in the next few minutes, I was going to go upstairs, up the ladder, and tase his ass myself, make a citizen's arrest. I think maybe that changed his mind. That's just a theory. That could be wrong.
Just a theory. I like this guy.
He heard me yelling. I got 3,600 people. Can you please share this, guys, to your family and
they
friends?
cooked him with some
We are
Modelo's
live
and
at
Dodger
Tornado RC here
tickets.
live in South San Antonio, behind a private home. There's a reporter here. I don't want to talk too loud.
Muchos canales aquí, somos los únicos, el canal HTH de Honduras que está transmitiendo aquí en vivo, como ustedes pueden observar. Somos el único canal que lleva la noticia a la puerta de sus hogares, así como pueden observar, miren, a mi espalda, como se mira.
Thank you for sharing, Becky.
Donde, según, como ustedes pueden observar,
I do need security.
ya están llegando a un acuerdo.
We got about 20 people in the backyard. a mixture of local residents, we have a mixture of media, and
esperándolo con ansia
ICE
que pueda
officers.
bajar, pero todavía no están llegando al acuerdo que quieren los elementos del ICE. Esperemos que lleguen a un buen acuerdo y que
Staring in awe. I would hire this guy. Apparently, this guy's an independent journalist in San
Are you
Antonio.
getting the
So
picture okay, guys?
I guess he
Give me
saw
a
this
thumbs
was
up.
happening and took advantage out here.
Because what I'm seeing right now on my end is that it's up sideways and it's zoomed in very tight. But if it's good on your side, then I won't try to mess around with the images here.
Doesn't look like he's coming out of the tree. Oh, he's on the phone with
He's from
someone.
Honduras. He's a reporter from Honduras. HCH, one of the biggest networks in Honduras.
Turkash, Mexican correspondent Augusto Zona.
You got the ICE officers to the right with the
Yeah,
caps and
Kimba,
the,
just tell the town that
sunglasses
everyone's
and
going to be
the,
deported if he
bulletproof
doesn't
vests
come
on.
down right
We
now.
have 3 officers there.
Everyone in the
3
neighborhood gets
officers over
deported if
here
he's not down
on the
in
left
5
side.
minutes. Kimba on the phone with a judge, probably. He's on the phone getting
Sácase de
immunity
ahí,
from some
carajo.
liberal fucknut judge.
Yo tengo cosas que hacer esta noche. No tengo toda noche, señor Raúl. Por favor.
Raul. Raul.
Get down. Come down now.
What? He kind of looks like he has downs.
I blame the Democratic Party for this. I blame
Is that a
people like
Downsican?
AOC and the left Marxists for this. I blame Governor Pritzker in Illinois for this, and every other sanctuary city, mayor, governor, senator, congressman, representative, because they are working against the Trump administration. They're working against
true,
Homeland
the
Security.
Mexicans.
They're working against the hard-working women and men of ICE, of the Marshals Department, of ATF, of the judicial system, DOJ, Coast Guard, the military, your local PD, your emergency removal office, EROs. I blame the Democratic Party and the Marxist left.
This
for what
guy's
we're
got a
seeing here,
list.
because they've sent out the message that whatever you do, fight. If you can, run away. Don't open the doors.
Gilbert
Flee the
Grape.
police. Do not cooperate with the police. Go hands-on with the police, as we sometimes seen. And this is making the job very, very dangerous for ICE officers and for law enforcement, LEOs across the country, city, county, state, and federal. And so this is we're at a war against the Democratic left that do not want criminals to be removed from our sovereign country. This man is a criminal. He's a felon. He broke the law. He needs to be removed ASAP. He is criminal. I don't care if he hasn't raped anybody yet, or killed anybody yet, or sold drugs yet, or do drunk driving yet. I'm not gonna wait till he rapes my fucking sister to get him removed. I want him removed tonight. I want him in El Salvador. I want him in CCOT. I want him in jail. I want him in prison in El Salvador. He needs to go to El Salvador prison right now, tonight. I want him on a jet. I want a private jet sent to El Salvador. ASAP. That's where we send criminals. Tren de Aragua, MS-13, Los Lobos, FARC, all these criminals, gang members. Yes, sir.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Press.
All
What's
right.
your name?
My name is Hernando RC. Follow me on X.
Follow you on X.
Like, share, and comment.
Yeah. So what are you doing out here?
I'm reporting.
What are
I
you
got
reporting about? Is this guy X
I got
as well?
4,000 people on X watching you right now.
Nice. What's up, guys?
He's from a different network.
Nice. HCH. That looks a little more legit. He's got
Honduras. Are you saying I'm not legit?
Well, he's got this fuzzy mic. You need one of them fuzzy mics.
I got a $2,000 iPhone, bro.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I'm a one-man show.
HCH, what's up, man?
What network are you with?
What's that?
What network are you with?
What's up, dude?
Oh, I don't
I think you're dropping some followers focusing on me. You should focus on what the hell's going on.
Well, you approached me, bro.
Yeah, what?
That's true. So what's up, man?
Anyway, as I was saying,
Oh, yeah.
I want this illegal alien criminal felon removed tonight. And
Oh,
I want
yeah,
him
better
sent
get
to
the
El
thing
Salvador.
ready.
I want him put in CCOT. because what he's done is a travesty. He's an embarrassment to my country.
Tu audiencia hablan español.
He's coming
Some
down.
speak Spanish.
Algunos hablan español, but you're Latino, right? You speak Spanish?
Hablo español, sí.
Okay, where are you from?
Por supuesto.
From El
Mis
Salvador?
padres son colombianos.
De Colombia.
Yo nací en Nueva York.
Gotcha. So what is that? That's like, are you into like Duque? Are you into like the fucking ELN or whatever?
ELN?
Yeah, man. Or are you more like a Pablo guy?
Pablo Escobar?
Yeah.
He's dead, but I mean, nah, I'm just a regular independent reporter.
Well, you're from Colombia.
My parents are from Colombia.
Oh, so you grew up here. You were born here.
Yeah, I was born in New York.
Yeah, but right now they're trying to take that away. So if you were born here today, they're trying to take that away.
Take what away, bro?
You wouldn't be a citizen, right?
I'm a U.S. citizen.
You're a U.S. citizen because you were born here, but your parents immigrated here, right?
Legally.
How did they immigrate?
They had status here, bro.
Legally.
They had a green card.
Oh, they had a green card?
Does he have a green card?
I don't know, man.
Doesn't have one. He was deported, and he was
How'd your
removed,
parents get the green card?
and he came back illegally again. That's a felon.
I'm just curious.
He's a criminal.
Did your parents
Did you
get a
get that
green
part?
card because they were like?
Did you get
getting
that
fucked by
part?
the FARC? Like, was it a FARC thing? Was it a political thing?
No.
Okay, that's good. 'Cause I know people who got killed.
So
their parents
President
got killed by
Kennedy,
the FARC.
before he was assassinated, he opened up immigration, not just to Anglo-Saxon countries in Europe
There
like
was a
Italy
quota and all
and
that
Germany.
good
He
stuff.
opened it up to the Caribbean
There we go.
and South America.
Right.
And so there was a flock, just
Yeah.
like we saw the last 4 years,
Yeah.
a flock of migrants coming from Jamaica.
This guy is
Haiti.
supposedly 29 years old.
They were coming for better
50
economic
years.
reasons, the majority of them.
Come on, I know he knows how to use a ladder better than this. He's stalling.
That was in the 80s. My mom came in the 60s.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go, guys.
All right.
I see the leg.
Sí, soy de San Antonio. No, es que hay un tipo ahí que vive.
Jerk. All right, yeah, so we're going to focus on this illegal alien. He came downstairs. They are handcuffing him right now as we speak. We got two ICE officers. Man is wearing a baseball hat.
Are they handcuffing him?
I can't zoom in
I
on a live.
want confirmation of that
Here
before we
go.
do
I
the
can zoom in.
thing.
Boom.
All right,
I
they
don't know if
got
you
him.
guys can see,
They got him.
but there are people.
Get in the zone. Austin zone.
There are people that are surrounding him.
Zone!
I see a baseball cap, a white baseball cap. This man is about 5 foot.
Do we need to put this reporter on the list? I think we put this reporter on the
A
list.
white baseball cap.
And maybe
He's about
the
30
Mexican
years old
dangler.
from
We got the
Guatemala.
Mexican
Illegal
dangler.
alien criminal.
And I'll let chat.
He entered our
I'll
country.
let chat
who knows
name
how
the
many
guy.
times, like a revolving door.
What should we name the reporter?
Sundown is in about another hour, 30, 45 minutes. So they got him down before it gets dark. They did not tase him. They did not have to shoot him. They negotiated down after 8 hours of
We're gonna
negotiation,
do
which to me is a waste of time. I would have tased his ass 7 hours ago.
Mexican tree dangler.
So we're gonna follow this. All right, I'm gonna go to the front of the house.
Geraldo Triviera. I like that. Hang on, let me. We're gonna do a poll. We're adding Geraldo Triviera.
All right, so now they're moving him. All right, let's go to the front of the house.
Taser Ramon. We're naming the reporter. I named the tree guy Mexican tree dangler.
Come here. Your mom came here the same way.
You guys
No, my
get to
mom
name
came
the
here with a
reporter.
fucking green card, you idiot.
So far, we have Geraldo Triviera and Taser Ramon on the list as options.
All right, this is the front of the
Does anyone
property.
want to throw another name out there?
They were moving him from the side of the street.
Juan flew over the Coco's nest. Elvez. I do like Juan flew over the cuckoo's
got
nest.
a lot of neighbors
That
here.
might be better for the actual tree guy, but now we're saving that one for another situation. That'll come up again. I like that, but Canadian alien just taco, just straight up taco. That's kind of funny, but with the exclamation point. Okay, these are your options. Deportee 8472, too spot on.
Paid by George Soros, giving information for illegal aliens on how to avoid ICE. She's down the paperwork there. ACLU, anti-American organization.
James O'Leaf That'd be better for a Canadian reporter.
All right, guys, I got a double time catching in the vehicle. Excuse the shaky camera.
Back to Guatemala he goes. Bye-bye, Raul. Bye-bye.
Right, he's gonna be coming out of the back here.
So far, Geraldo Triviera is kicking ass
The
in the
south side,
poll.
see that?
Pablo Escobar.
This man is armed with AR.
Patriots United dude's wearing Under Armour shirts. I guess he used Joe's money well.
He's got the bottle of water, McDonald's.
Allá en las cárceles, acá la gente trabajadora, ¿para qué chingados lo molestan? A la gente trabajadora lo deben dejar en paz, a la verga.
He's an illegal criminal.
Hombre, si somos los más trabajadores. Qué vergüenza. Fuck you, nigga. Fuck you.
Whoa.
Pussy.
English, please, English.
You're not embarrassed?
There you go.
Embarrassed, pussy.
You're not embarrassed?
He's a criminal.
You're not embarrassed?
Criminal.
You gotta remember where you come from. Because you are not white.
Step back.
You are not white.
Step back.
I am back. I ain't touching you.
Don't get me.
I ain't touching you.
Get me.
I ain't touching
Oh,
you.
they mad.
Remember where you're coming from.
Hold it, you have to support this guy too.
So they got the night equipment here. They got the night lights and everything ready to go, but thank God they didn't have to wait for the nighttime.
Those people are right.
They may be bringing them to that vehicle. These people don't respect law and order.
Man, fuck you and the law, nigga.
Is she allowed to say that? All right, Geraldo Triviera wins.
Man, fuck that nigga.
Following this guy, just in case anything ever pops off in San Antonio again, we can be right back to him.
All right, so we're waiting for.
Yeah, Democrats are probably going to hold a press conference about this tomorrow. Save the tree guy!
Telling these illegals not to cooperate police. This is what we're doing for one illegal alien. 7 hours. Look at these anti-Americans. These are all anti-Americans right here, yelling at the ICE officers. This country is upside down. People supporting criminals. Criminals.
Solid
Guys
argument
are
from that
felony.
lady.
How many more illegal aliens are around here?
Stroman, 15 million to go. And who's going to clean up that yard now? Yeah, it looks like they didn't clean up any of these yards.
Are they going to bring them out?
No one does yard work on this street.
Oh, really?
Ironic.
All right, so they already removed the.
Patriots. Yeah, he
criminals
said earlier that
to
this
the
was a
other
really
side of the
bad
street.
neighborhood. So
See, this is what happens on when you have people that.
looks like press is getting the hell out of there now.
So, now they're chasing the ICE vehicle.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck chasing the ICE vehicle. Why don't you chase it all the way to Guatemala? How about that?
All right, so this was the entrance to go into the back to negotiate with the criminal. This is a vacant lot with a trailer in it. They're still talking shit. They're very, very aggressive with me, so I'm gonna wait for them to leave, go away, before I go back to my vehicle.
Is his feet done?
Why don't they take the Arabians back too?
Thank you, officer. We support ICE removing criminal illegal aliens. Thank you, sir. We appreciate your service. Criminals. No one's above the law. You break the law, you gotta pay consequences. Thank you, officer, for doing your job. I wish it didn't take 7 hours to do it. All right, guys. Well, there you have it, man. I was at work today, and I got the news from JRL from X. He was live at his home studio discussing that this was a standoff. So as soon as I heard the news, I went home and changed. I came straight here. He was nice enough to give me the location. So shout out to JRL, I believe his tag is on X, because he did give me the street. So we're on Hazel and Navidad, South San Antonio. Very dangerous neighborhood. As you can see from the neighbors here. They were tricking us, and they put the illegal alien in another vehicle while we were going north. They went south. So good job in ICE deflecting these very aggressive people here. And so, you know, this is what it's about. It took 7 hours to apprehend one illegal. We got 20 million plus illegals, for God's sakes. Thank you for their excellent reporting.
Yeah, at 7 hours per illegal, that's not going to get the job done.
Party, as I've been saying.
Someone run the math.
Hour and a half.
How many illegals are there left? 20 million?
Eventually, we're going to have ICE officers harmed and maybe even killed, because now these illegal aliens are getting aggressive. They had a warrant for this man's arrest. He probably did not open the door to his apartment, and they staked out the place.
100 million?
And waited for him to get into a vehicle, and then they followed the vehicle.
So
they
it's 7 hours per illegal.
An assumption here. And then once they pulled over the vehicle,
doing this until the
took
year
off running into a tree.
25,000.
The tree was a sanctuary tree. It's not a sanctuary tree. This is not a sanctuary city. This is not a sanctuary state. I have to make my way back to the car because now the police have left. It's getting dark, and these people are still around, signaling to each other that I'm here. So it's not safe. So I got to keep moving. I'm gonna continue to go live. Once I get into my vehicle, hopefully they won't throw rocks at my vehicle or try to deflate my tires.
I guess
Fernando Arce here, live.
I guess we'll be watching.
South San Antonio, Texas.
In case that happens.
Criminal.
No.
There's still a standoff there. Let's go check it out.
Yeah, this other one's back.
You think I should leave, guys?
Probably, but please don't.
Oh man, there's still a lot of people here. Still a lot of media here. If I'm surrounded by media, I feel safer, because I don't feel safe around these people. They're low lives criminals, most of the people.
Keep saying that. Oh, yeah, this one was dark for a couple minutes and then came back, and now it's dark again.
Officer,
or not dark, it's frozen.
Did the illegal alien felon leave yet?
Oh yes, they already took him into custody.
They took him. All right. Thank you for your service. Real Americans stand with you. We support you. What you're doing with Tom Homan, I know it's not making your job easier, and I blame the Democratic Party for what you had to go through, because they're making it difficult for you guys to do your job. This man was a felon. He was a criminal. He needs to be sent to El Salvador to CCOT. And then we have a lady there that is aiding and abetting illegal aliens, giving out flyers to illegal aliens. That's ACLU, Marxist organization, probably funded by George Soros. You're catching this live right now.
We've got a green-haired kid here.
We got the fake media here. We got Marxists giving out flyers, aiding and abetting illegal aliens right there. She's wearing the orange top with the black pants. She's a female, 30 years old, probably Hispanic, and this is the face of the problems we have in this country. It's people like her and low information people like over there smoking marijuana. We have ERO here, Enforcement Removal Office, TQ. I don't know what tactical TQ stands for. It's tactical quality. I'm not sure. She just said that ICE is dangerous, and this is the problem with the media. They're brainwashing children as young as 6 years old, saying that ICE is dangerous, that ICE is the enemy. This little girl in the back of the vehicle, this is the problem we have in our country. And I blame the media for this, and I blame the Democratic Party for this. You got low information people over there giving me the finger. You guys capturing that? You got that? This is the South Side. This is what you get in the South Side, San Antonio.
So eloquent. They make such great
you,
points on why
guys.
we should keep them in our country.
Until his mother gets raped by an illegal alien, until he gets robbed, until he gets
His
hit
mother
by a
is an
DWI with an
illegal
illegal alien, he may change his mind. We have more neighbors here watching on the sidewalk. At least they're not giving me the finger yet, but maybe they will. I don't know. How you doing, sir? Do you want to be interviewed?
Sure.
Okay, can you tell me your name?
What is this for? I'm Juan.
Juan. Are you a neighbor?
Yeah, I live around here.
Okay. So I'm an independent reporter on X. Follow me, Hernando Arce. What do you think? What's your opinion on what's happening here?
It's kind of scary, you know. How did this happen? He was stopped at a traffic stop.
So this man named Raul Cal, C-A-L, is a Guatemalan. He was removed from our country because he came here illegally, and he was removed and deported. Now he's back, and when you come back, that's a felony, okay? That's a felon, criminal. And then what happens is these guys had a warrant probably at his house, and he didn't open the door. So they staked out the place, and they followed him in the vehicle, I assume, and then they stopped him, and then he ran up a tree thinking it's a sanctuary tree. And that's where we are 8 hours later.
It's a sanctuary tree.
That's the truth. You may not like the truth, but that's the truth. We are a country of law and order. And if you break the law, there are consequences for breaking the law. Any questions or comments?
I'm all right, man.
He's all right. You have nothing to hide. You have nothing to be scared of because you're a citizen of America, I assume. You speak English, so you're nothing to be hide. They're not going to deport you. They're deporting criminals.
I don't know.
You come to the country.
The way he's looking around, he seems a little
you're
sketched
criminal. You
out.
broke the law, and we are a nation of laws that needs to be protected.
Jarvis, his
We
shirt
have a
matches
news
his
reporter taking
pimples.
selfies with the owner. We have some type of independent media here with green hair. Can I get a selfie too? Maybe can I get a selfie with the owner?
PCB, yeah, nice interview. He just talked
They're
out the
still,
guy the
they're
whole
still
time.
mocking me, but that's okay. I'm not
Still
afraid of
funny. How
come I can't get a selfie?
Kimba, yes, it came down. It got
Antonio, you
zoned.
did a good job, Antonio.
He's on his way back to Guatemala.
Antonio.
Thank you.
This is Antonio. Make sure you follow him on X. What's your handle on X?
Guillen. Guillen.
Guillen. Okay, there you go.
There you go, mama.
He's a good guy. I've seen him in City Hall. We may not agree on certain things. We may have different opinions.
Yeah, I mean, we agree to disagree.
We agree to disagree.
Right. Take care.
But no one's above the law.
Take care.
How much they pay you? How much does ACLU pay you? Right there, that's the enemy of America right there for you. Enemy of America. That innocent looking 30-year-old female, she's probably a Marxist. She is the enemy of America today in the 21st century. She's handing out flyers how to hide from the police. How to not
Well, they're going to change their pamphlet to say, no trees.
So this is what they're up against.
Do not
these
climb
guys
a
don't have an
tree.
easy job. They do not have an easy job, but Tom Homan is their chief, and I want to bless Tom Homan, and God bless these men and women of Immigration Custom Enforcement. We got the ladder back. All right, we're gonna wrap it up. All right, this is my cue. Ciao. You want to interview me? I didn't think so. I didn't think so. I got the truth. You don't know the truth. You don't want the truth. You don't want the truth.
I followed him on X, Kimba. He's streaming on X, which
How
is
you
cool.
doing? Have a good day.
You too.
All right.
I rarely see people live streaming on X.
¿Qué onda?
I wish more people did it. It's much
All right, guys, I
better
gotta
than
make it
TikTok, which is where everyone fucking streams now.
Get away here.
Pain in the
Make
ass.
sure no one's following me. I'm not gonna put my stuff away. I'm jumping my vehicle. Get the hell out of here before I get attacked.
They took a picture of your car.
Fucking lady taking forever. All right, guys, let me pull over somewhere safe, and I'll end the video here. I just don't want anybody following me from that mob of low information, un-American losers.
Lynn, we
That's
named
pretty
this
nice.
guy Geraldo Triviera.
Find a shaded area here. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
I
hope you
will
shared it.
share his
If you
X
like my
handle
work,
with
please
you
donate
guys
to my
in the chat.
page. Give, send, go. I don't do this for a living.
Hernando
I'm trying to find
Arce.
a shaded area here to hang out.
Is his name on X?
By the church. So I should be safe by a church right there. You think, right?
Yes, Arce.
As long as it's
A-R-C-E,
not Catholic
not
Charities.
A-R-S-E, but probably pronounced the same.
Man, it's hot out there. I don't see nobody following me. That's good. All right, I'm around. Man, my camera still shows it. I'm horizontal and I'm zoomed in, but hopefully you guys can see me fine and got a good connection. I'll start reading the comments before I end the live. I've been going live for at least an hour and a half.
Yeah, good
First
job,
of all, thank you to
Hernando.
JRL, I believe his handle is. Nice guy. He does a lot of live videos all over the country, and he went live at his home studio. Off here, so I quickly went home and changed some work. I made a beeline here because he was nice enough to give me the location. Visual is good. Yep. Okay. Wonderful. Thank you, guys. So I'll just read some comments. If you have any last minute questions about what you just saw, let me know. But very, very dangerous work with these people that are unhinged, man. And I'm here by myself. I had to go get my Glock out of my vehicle because I did not feel safe with those people. The police showed up because someone called the police on me, and they were about to arrest me again. I had explained to her that I felt unsafe, and so I'll just read the videos here. Visual is good. Thanks, brother. JLR investigates. Yep, that's him. Really well done. Good job. Love watching the video. And I haven't been live in a while, so if you're my followers that follow me, and I've been giving you guys content for the last 4 years, you've probably been missing me the last few days. I've not put up any real cool videos lately. Have you considered doing journalism full-time? I have if a network would pick me up, but LFA TV, Live from America TV, Jeremy, a nice guy, nice network, they really haven't called me to do any work, and neither has any other network. I don't know, maybe I'm too aggressive with these live videos, and maybe my guerrilla style journalism, maybe they don't like. I don't know. They won't follow you. They're cowards. The real
They can't
men
control
who
you.
I had to move. When the fire department showed up, that was my time to beeline to my vehicle because the fire truck was blocking their view of me. So I made that my time to get out of there because the party was already over. Yeah, so scram. We crushed it. Deep breaths. Good job. God bless you. The real patriots. Thank
Jay,
you.
maybe because you tase everyone. Yeah, you were threatening to tase a lot of people.
What you're talking about. That lady yelled in Spanish, calling you a racist. Tell her to speak English. I always tell them to speak English. I was going after them too. I'm sorry, but you cannot advise, encourage, or promote people to break the law. That's right. That guy was a criminal. He came here illegally, was removed, he came back. That's a felony. Case closed. God bless Trump. She's probably illegal herself. She probably is. Be careful. It's the Anti-American League. They're a racist. Yes. These thugs mocking you, send them home. You said independent media with green hair. Yeah, that green hair didn't even try to make a move on me. I don't even know what their gender was. What is their pronouns? I couldn't tell. Was it he or her or she or him? Ew, gross, disgusting. She looked really dirty. I don't know what that was, man. That was disgusting. That green hair person. Get wild. The getting is good. Yep. I think she just told you not to talk to you. There's this neighborhood an illegal immigration neighborhood. Listen, I think all of San Antonio is an illegal neighborhood. I mean, we're 2 hours from the border. There's a lot of illegals here. They're all over the place. There was a big bus in Dripping Springs, which is a conservative neighborhood in Hill Country in Texas by Bernie and New Braunfels and Austin area up there north. Beautiful area, conservative neighborhood. A big bus of illegals there. They're all over the place. They're like cockroaches. They go everywhere. Should check their status. Bounce, Hernando. Get her papers. Classy. Why are they not arresting her? I don't know. Traitors. You got that 9 is good. Hell yeah, I got that fucking 9, man. Hell yeah. And an extra clip. Self-defense. Do you have YouTube? No, I don't have a YouTube channel. I don't like to be censored with YouTube. I'm on Rumble. My Rumble account is over on my bio. Follow me on Rumble. I got over 1,200 followers on Rumble. Sanctuary Tree. Did you like that one? Thank you, Hernando. A couple of thank yous. Great job. Okay, here, man. But it's hard when you're a one-man show, you know? Oh, I have some water. I have some more water in the trunk. I'll go get it in a minute when I'm finished here. Okay, excellent video. Impending officers. Yeah, you saw that lady from ACLU? Yeah, the enemy. She's the enemy of America. Okay, I think I got most of the comments, guys. I don't want to go to the beginning because kind of old, but all right. They use the N-word towards white people. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Those people is fucking ridiculous. It's been a while since I've seen you. I know. I miss you guys. I love your style. Stay safe. Great video. Is there a hotline? I see them all around. Yeah, just Google the hotline. There's a ICE office. There's an ICE number for the hotline.
All right, guys. This was a fun stream. I didn't know we were gonna get a Mexican dangler. That was cool. Trump was Trump. Nothing too revealing there. Until next time. Till we hong again. Hong on, hong well, hong forever. Hong in your dreams. Goodbye.